Rolling down the highway, chasing the sun. Larry's at the wheel, got the engine on the run. Saucy's got the playlist, singing it out loud. Another open road, another brand new town. From the mountains high to the ocean's deep, they're living the dream, they ain't losing sleep. With a glass full and a tank of gas, they ain't slowing down, they ain't looking back. They fly through the sky, chasing the breeze. Roll down the road, feeling so free. Ride the waves where the sunsets go. Forever Huffs living wherever they go. Cruising down the coastline, drinking their hymns, dancing on the deck to a steel drum band. Larry's cracking jokes, making new best friends. Saucy's snapping pictures, cause the fun won't end. From the northern lights to the streets of Rome, everywhere they go they make it their home. With the world so big and their hearts so wide, they'll keep on moving till the end of the ride. They fly through the sky, chasing the breeze. Roll down the road, feeling so free. Ride the waves where the sunsets go. Forever Huffs living wherever they go. No map, no plan, just a ticket in hand. They'll follow the stars and the golden sand. Every new town, another great story. Living this life in all of its glory. They fly through the skies, chasing the breeze. Roll down the road, feeling so free. Ride the waves where the sunsets go. Forever Huffs living wherever they go. So if you see them on by, give them a wave. They're chasing adventure, they're feeling brave. Larry and Saucy, hearts open wide. Forever Huffs living, enjoying the ride.
Well. Look at here. We got people in here already. Good gracious. We've been missing you guys. Look at there. My hair's all white. I'm getting old. Yeah, I'm getting old. Yeah, hey, y'all, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you hadn't already.
Choppy audio.
I see we got, huh?
I was reading.
What'd you read?
Choppy audio.
Choppy audio.
Is it still choppy?
Is it still choppy or was it just that music? Because I brought it up on my phone and it sounded a little choppy. Anyway, so we got Paul in here. We got Miss PJ in here. Who else? Miss Nancy. Happy New Year to you too, Miss Nancy. To all of you, Happy New Year. So what is 2026 going to bring? 2025 was kind of crazy, wasn't it? What is that? Stuff coming in on the phone while I'm trying to do a video. Crazy. Something crazy. Yeah, 2025 was something else. No telling what's going to happen in 2026.
It went by so fast, I don't even remember.
I know. Did the year seem like it went by fast for y'all? It went by fast for us. Seems like, I don't know, just...
This year's by going fast.
This year's by going fast?
You have to unscramble the sentence. This year is going by fast, too. It won't be long. We'll be on the ship.
Yeah, we're fixing to go do a cruise here before long. Actually, we're doing two of them. We're going to do one on one cruise line. When it gets back, we're going to spend the night, and the next day get on another cruise line.
I call it a side-by-side, not a back-to-back.
Yeah, side-by-side. Hopefully, everybody has good health, too. That would be nice. Yep. So far, we've remained, pretty healthy. We've been fortunate. But you don't know. You don't know what the future holds. We hope everybody stays healthy, happy and healthy. That's what we need. Happy and healthy. So, was it Paul said that the audio was choppy? That was the music, I think, for that intro video was choppy. Hopefully, our audio now is okay. Let me know. Praise it's better. Yep. And slow. Okay. Paul says it flew by. Miss PJ said it was slow. Yeah, hit that like button. Miss PJ's right on the head there. We got about 8 people in here. So did everybody have a good Christmas? Get what they wanted? Okay, Paul says audio sounds good now. Okay, I'll look into that video and see kind of what's going on there. See if I can't make that better. It plays fine on my computer. So I don't know. We got a new computer a couple of months ago. I'm trying to get everything switched over, and I've only got one screen here. I used to have 2 screens. I know I've already told them that. Tell them again. I'm still trying to kind of get it figured out. So it might have something to do with some of that. We'll get it figured out though. Somebody's quick to tell me that I've told y'all that before. But see, that comes with age. You get older, you tell people over and over, same thing. Right? I do anyway. Do y'all do that? Tell the same stories over and over to the same people? And they sit there and they're nice and they act like they never heard it before. It's what's happening in the news. What's caught your eye? Nothing. You haven't watched the news?
Depressing.
It is depressing. Yeah, we find that we're better off not watching the news. And we'll go sometimes several days without watching the news. Especially when we cruise, we turn everything off when we cruise. Don't even. I guess the big thing is going down to Venezuela. We whooped in there and picked up that president real quick.
Oh, I just read something.
What did you read?
It's on Facebook.
Well, if it's on Facebook, it's got to be true.
Something about the oil.
Whether you agree with what we did down there in Venezuela or not, you've got to be impressed that our military could, swoop into a country, take their president and his wife out of there. Ms. PJ says she loves telling stories over and over to the same people. I try not to, but I done got old enough now. I do it and don't even realize I'm doing it. She reminds me, she'll tell me. Why did we get him? It's my understanding that he was charged with something several years ago and is technically a fugitive. I think it's got to do, I don't know. I don't know all the big picture, but I think there's a lot of things involved. Of course, the drugs coming from down there. And then the oil, there's some embargoes that's been in place with different countries, and they were shipping oil and selling oil to places they shouldn't and all sorts of stuff. And now you look over and Iran is in an uproar. The people are trying to take their country back. They're tired of the Islamic rule. So they're standing up and fighting against that. And I think the ones that are in place there in Iran, their escape plan was Venezuela. They were going to run to Venezuela. Well, that's off the table now. So it's all tied in together. And I'm not going to try to justify or not justify it because I don't know enough. It's the big picture is more than I can comprehend probably. But you got to be impressed with a military that can go in and do that in a matter of a few hours and have no casualties, no accidents, no nothing. Just, go in, get him, come out. Well, there's Miss Georgie.
A little
What's
bit more
happening?
impressive is how they got the signs made for their protest so quick and
Yeah.
distributed.
Yeah, and within a few hours, they were protesting in the streets over here and already had signs made up and everything. That's pretty good.
Professional signs.
Professional
not,
signs, yeah.
Not handwritten on poster board.
Georgie's waving at us. Hey, Georgie.
Sure gonna miss you on the cruise.
I went over, where was that? I've been, I see all y'all's channels, and I was at one of them. Who was it? They had about 6 of them on there. Georgie and a bunch of them was on there.
Jen and
Jen and
it's their channel. Jen and
what's his name?
yeah. And then they had those others on there.
Yeah, y'all had a full panel on there this evening. Of course, Mama Coop, she's over there doing her thing, making stuff. And, I saw Skipper, or was it this morning or yesterday morning? I don't know. Okay, so this is not George. This is Georgie's mom. Is that what I'm seeing here? Okay, their inflation is over 200%. Whose inflation, Nancy? Is it, who are we talking about? Venezuela or Iran? Back in the day, I think Iran was a pretty cool country. They was living normal stuff. They had beaches and the gals had their bikinis and, just like we are over here. And then the Islamic regime kind of overthrew the government and took over and made it what it is now. Yeah, Venezuela, probably so. I really don't know, Nancy. Like I said, there's so many pieces to this puzzle right now, the way the world is. I don't even try to guess what's really going on, but hey, there again, you got to be impressed with the military that can go in and do that. Given the order, go in, take the man and his wife, bring them out. Another thing that might come out of this, now, there again, I'm just repeating what I see and what I hear and all that, but the voting machines that were supposedly used to cheat in the election came from Venezuela. It's starting to look like Venezuela and a couple of other countries have been playing on the world stage using these machines, not only here, but in other countries, to sway elections that the way they wanted them to go. And if that's the case, if it was a true effort to do that, and they were doing that, and he spills the beans, and that could be important. That could be important, because one party and administration is saying they didn't lose that election, that the machines were used to cheat. And if this president of Venezuela can show proof of that, and it's not going to change anything. The past is the past. It's already done, but I don't know. What y'all think?
Trying to find that news article I read.
What was it about?
The oil.
Oh, the oil. Yeah. Yeah. So you got the stuff going on in Iran, and they were wanting to try to bug out to Venezuela if the people actually managed to overthrow the government. And it's looking, you're not seeing it much on the mainstream media, but if you'll go look at YouTube and that sort of stuff, yeah, that's one thing I want to talk about too. There's Georgie. Hey. It's Georgie. So you got that part going on. You got the stuff about the oil and selling to these countries that need it. Russia being one of them. So if you can stop that oil flow, you might can hamper their ability to continue the fight over in the Ukraine. I mean, all this is tied in together, and then you got the drug boats coming from down there. You got the voting machines. It was coming out of Venezuela. It's just all tied. It's just a mess. Too many pieces for my little old self to keep up with. But back to the original point I was making, you got to be impressed with our military. And I thought about something while I was saying that, and I wanted to get back to it, and I done forgot all of it. Yep, Georgie's done coming here. We got Georgie, Georgie's mom. We got Paul. We got Miss Nancy. I don't want to miss anybody. Glad y'all are here this evening. Gonna spend a little time with us and talk a little bit. We've been back and forth to our hunting camp, spending a lot of time out there. I did harvest one little small deer, put a little meat in the freezer. Don't know if we're going to get back before the season's over because we got cruises coming up. We got to go do.
And I'll say again, Georgie, we're gonna miss you.
Yeah, Georgie, you should have
And
come
George's
on
mom.
and Georgie's mom. Y'all should have come on and went on the cruise. It's going to be a good one. Yeah, Georgie, I was telling them I saw y'all a while ago. You had about 6 of y'all on there doing a show. Oh, Paul says the gremlin's here. I'm still using my festive Waffle House cup. I will tell you, if you live where they don't have a Waffle House, you need to move. Miss PJ, I got the birdhouse down today, cleaned it up, and got it set back up, but the camera's kind of cloudy, and I don't know why. I've cleaned it good. Please. And so I'm going to keep looking at it. No, I did not make jerky with the deer. We do process our own. Sansi and I do it ourselves. I kept the straps, for steaks. And then the rest of it, we ground up and mixed with some pork and used some seasoning. And we made breakfast sausage out of patties. Makes for a good breakfast. Yep, makes for a good breakfast. So has the weather been acting crazy where y'all are at? We were hot today. It was up in the I'm gonna say we were in the 70s. I didn't check it, but I know I was outside doing stuff and I got hot. And a week ago we were below freezing. Thank you. Yeah, the weather's crazy. How about where y'all are at? I'm still trying to remember. I thought of something a while ago that I wanted to talk about, and I've done forgot. By the time I got through with my original thought, I forgot. Do y'all have coffee? That's the whole point here. Have coffee with the Huffs. PJ said they got rain. We're going to have some rain Saturday from what we saw. Looking at the weather because it's so warm. We talked about going out on our boat Saturday. Not going to get in the water. The water's kind of too cold now. Although they did they call it a polar plunge the other day? Out there to where we were going. We have a winter storm coming in Friday night, Saturday. That's what Paul said. Yeah, it's just been crazy. The temperature swings are crazy. And a lot of people, they have that
Sunday.
call for cold or whatever.
Sunday is supposed to be down 35.
Really? See, now it's going to get cold again.
Happy birthday on Saturday.
Yep, happy birthday on Saturday. Yeah, rain is better than snow. I believe it's better than snow anyway. Some people like the snow. We had snow.
I like it every now and then.
Was it last year or year before?
A year ago.
Last year we had about 8 inches of snow here, which is unheard of. We never get snow. Really, we never do. But that was a once in a lifetime event. The jet stream, just did some weird thing and it swooped all the way down here and put some snow on us. And we liked it. It was pretty.
I played in it.
She played in it, yeah. But it didn't stick. But anyhow, I did, Miss PJ. I got the bird feeder down today, cleaned it up, put some new seed in it, and all that. But the camera's kind of foggy. It's almost like it's on the inside because I cleaned the outside of the camera screen really well 2 or 3 times, thinking I was going to clear it up. But it didn't. But I'll keep working with that. We'll get that figured out. And I haven't had bird feed in it in a while, so it might take a few days for them to find it. All right. Georgie says she's going to get an espresso. That's a little bitty cup. I wonder who come up with that idea. A little bitty cup like that, just small, almost like a shot glass with some really strong coffee. And let's call it espresso. Wonder how that name came about. Hey, there's the skipper. Skipper, I think you still have a link somewhere if you want to. You're more than welcome to jump in. Uh-oh, somebody just threw in a super sticker. You got to see the ding-a-ling. Thank you for that, Skipper. I caught some of your thing. Was it this morning? I don't remember if it was this morning or not. And you were talking about the UCMJ and the old dude that was an astronaut and what kind of trouble he might get into for, And I hate it when people do things kind of sideways. They all said, well, you don't have to obey unlawful orders, which is true. But what they were really saying is you don't have to do what Trump tells you to do. That's what they were really saying. Now that's wrong. So they worded it this way. I guess they thought if they worded it that way, they could keep from getting in trouble. They say, oh, well, that's not what we meant or what, I'm kind of like Skipper now. If you're going to do something, do it and own it. Stand up. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I meant. I'll say it again today, and I still mean it today. If you're gonna try to be a man, be a man. Step out there and say what you're gonna say and stick to it. But they'll say it kind of sideways, and then when the heat comes on, they back down, and that's not what I meant or whatever. But anyhow, they'll probably use the UCMJ and
who did they threaten?
Demoting. Which is not.
Somebody threatened Elon Musk.
Oh, didn't they? I didn't hear about that.
Yes, you did. I read it to you.
Oh, tell me again.
I said something. It was. They said you don't have to worry about Elon Musk because he won't be around long.
Oh yeah. That's right.
And then they said, well, that's not what they meant. That's not what they were saying.
When they called her on, she said, well, that's not what I meant.
Y'all took it out of context. Well,
y'all took it out of context.
Apparently the vice president's home
got broken into and vandalized.
How does that happen?
He wasn't there.
I know he wasn't there, but that's the vice president's residency. Mm-hmm. I would think the president and the vice president has top security. I mean,
right. At
even when they're not there at home, you would think.
You would think.
Yeah.
At their homes in Washington, yes. They have Secret Service and all of that, but this was his private home.
Oh, his private home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. See, I don't watch enough of the news to know. So yeah, JD Vance's home was broken into, and I think that I did see that they got the kid and supposedly he's transgender or something. I don't know. Just crazy world.
I didn't dig that far into it.
You know, for all these people that's trying to live these crazy ways, I'm just going to tell you, life would be much more pleasurable if you keep it simple. You know, if you were born a male, then you're a male, and go get a job, get you a wife, have some kids. Keep it simple. Just do the normal stuff. You'll be much happier. That's what they ought to do. It's some crazy stuff in this world. I tell you, you know, being retired and we're kind of out in the country and we got a nice little piece of land here. And it's easy for us to stay here for several days and really not turn the TV on, the news, and, you know, we just kind of let the world go by. When I was younger, maybe some of y'all's age, I was eat up with that. I wanted to keep up with everything that was going on, and I'd get not really mad, but I stayed involved with what was going on. Not so much anymore. It's done got so crazy. Just crazy. But yeah, what was you fix to say something?
Go ahead.
Skipper, yeah, I caught that about your UCMJ stuff, and that was good stuff to talk about. A lot of people don't understand how all that works. I was not in command a lot. I had sometimes when I was in command, and I did have to use some UCMJ, but absolute last resort. You know, the people that worked for me, they knew if I had to do something like that, then they were automatically on my side because they knew that Chief give me every chance I could. And if it got to that point, then they know whoever it was, they pushed Chief too far.
Okay, I was going to ask Skipper
Okay.
if he's still on.
He might be.
If y'all got your hotel and stuff set up in Port Canaveral or Cocoa Beach, wherever
Yeah,
you're going.
Skipper and his parents are going to go on a cruise with us. We're looking forward to that. Have we got ours set up yet?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're set.
Got the parking set.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good deal.
Right there at the hotel. And I ride back and forth to the ship.
See? That's what I like to do. Get everything set way ahead of time.
Oh, he's still there.
Yeah. All right. So your question was, do they have a hotel
Yeah,
set and
did y'all
everything?
get where y'all gonna stay? You don't if
Well, you don't have to put it on
yeah,
here.
you don't
but-
have to put it on here, but you can text it.
Yep. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lord.
All I need is my
All I
flight.
need is my flight. There you go.
Well, send it in a message where y'all staying.
Yeah, let
You
us
and
know
your-
where y'all going to stay.
Who knows? We might can do dinner
Text us or something. Yeah, we'll do something the evening before we leave.
if we're close.
There's Dennis looking there. He was part of that group a while ago. Dennis was on there.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was
I
like
didn't-
6 of them.
I didn't see who. I saw it was a bunch.
They had enough. They could have played a basketball game. Yeah, sure could have. All right, y'all give me a good gift card for Carmel. Got his parents a $100 gift card for Carmel. Well, good for you. Look at that. See, there's a good boy. Taking care of his parents and all. I like that. Yep. I like that.
I was gonna say we got the steakhouse, but we didn't have a steakhouse. We can.
Hmm.
We do.
Yeah, I don't know about the first cruise we're going on, but the Carnival cruise, all the ships have a steakhouse. It's extra, but it's usually worth it. They have, a good cut of meat, and they fixed it. We watched Driving or Wrecking. Okay. Dennis, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I remember I saw about six of y'all had a thing going earlier tonight, and I watched some of it, not all of it. I dropped in for a little while. I know sometimes y'all do the truck driving thing. Is that what you're talking about? They did truck driving today, or
Driving or
I thought
wrecking.
they do that on Thursday. Y'all do I can't keep up. I know y'all do truck driving one of those days. It looks fun though. So, well, let's talk about that. The truck driving and all the illegals having licenses it shouldn't have. I'm not even going to say illegals. I'm going to say, how do you feel about people driving these big rigs that can't speak English and if they can't speak English, obviously, then they're not able to read the signs. I'm not even going to bring up the legal versus illegal status of them being here, but just the fact that they can't read English. I don't like that. I don't want them out there. If they can't read and understand the signs and speak English, I don't want them driving one of those big rigs. What do y'all think? What's your thoughts on someone there? Again, I'm not even going to talk about the legal versus illegal status. Just the fact that they can't read and write English and read the road signs. I guess if anybody's okay with that, you're gonna have to explain to me why, because I don't like that at all. Hey, Jim Baroque. Oh, you're not late. Everybody's on time here. She ready to go to bed.
I'm the only one in this house that did not get a nap. I am.
Y'all hear her yell at me? I got it on video.
Well, then you go back and watch the front of the video.
I don't think I took a nap. I did go in there and lay down for a few minutes, but I don't think I fell asleep.
It's not my problem.
I just, I was just about to fall asleep. I heard my phone ring out here. But I did go lay down for a minute. If you can't read, write, or speak English, no license. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just a safety thing. I mean, just the safety thing of it. I mean, I have enough trouble. Look, I get into the bigger cities when there's 5 or 6 lanes of traffic and I'm not familiar with the area. And
Atlanta, I don't want to go.
I'm trying to find
ever.
my exit and reading the signs, and I still missed my exit because I wasn't over far enough, or the signage wasn't real clear in its explanation. If I have trouble
Reading.
then my word, these people that can't read the signs or speak English, how do they even get from point A to point B in this country without getting in a mess? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. And that, we got to talk about the Somalian daycares in, was it Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
Billions of dollars they took. I don't see how that happened. Our kids are grown, but when they were small, there were times we had to put them in daycare or something, and we had to pay that out of our pocket. The government didn't pay for our kids to go to daycare or anything like that. We had to pay for
Well,
it.
they do have assistant programs to help so that the people can go to work. So the government pays daycare so they can work. Or some don't get the whole daycare paid for, they get part of it, depending on what you make. So if you're unemployed, which that's something else they're looking into, the unemployment.
But to have that kind of money going in over there with it looks like there was absolutely no oversight. Nobody was going by to check.
No.
Nobody was seeing how this money was being used or anything.
Well, you see, it was said that, I'm not saying who said it, it was said that the COVID thing was put together so fast and there was no oversight on it.
Yeah.
So there was no walls or boundaries, so the fraud could just go.
Yeah. I'll tell you another thing I'm sick of hearing. And then I don't know. We gotta move to something more upbeat. That's what we need to do. But I'm sick of hearing about what everybody did
And all the proof they have.
and all the proof they have, and no one being held accountable. No one's gotten in trouble yet. You know, they stole this money, or they did this, or they did that, or you know.
And I saw where it is coming. They've kind of toned it down, but it's coming.
I hope so. I want to see. Look, if you or I, and I say all of you out there watching, or us, did anything even remotely close to what they talk about some of these people did, they would have us so fast.
With even just $1,000.
Yeah, we'd be in jail so fast it'd make your head spin. You know, that they catch these people doing all this stuff, millions and billions, and I gotta believe that when you have that kind of money disappearing, some politicians had to have been involved at some higher level, kind of covering that up. Okay, George, you got iced coffee. I thought you was going after an espresso.
Georgie, that's just one thing I cannot drink is cold coffee at all.
I can't do cold. I can't do the iced coffee. How many of y'all drink iced coffee? It's very popular.
Yeah.
But I don't.
If it's cold and it has a coffee flavor, I can't seem to drink it. It smells good. It looks good, but
Yeah.
when it's coffee, it's got to be hot.
Jingle trucks. I just saw that.
Huh?
Skipper said jingle trucks. We know exactly what I know exactly what a jingle truck is. When I say we, I'm talking about me and Skipper. We've seen them over in the Middle East. They had tassels hanging all in them, and all right. So you make the espresso, and then you make iced coffee out of that. So you make the espresso, you dump that over into something and put milk and sugar and ice or whatever in it to make the iced coffee. That's right, hot and black. That's what Skipper said. Hot and black. That's how we like our coffee.
That Paul can't do iced coffee either. It's just, I mean, that's just me. A lot of people drink it.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know that I've ever even tried it.
Well, can you drink that coffee cold?
No, but I think it's different when it's an iced coffee.
I don't think so.
It's made different.
It's got the coffee flavor and it's cold.
Now, when I was over in Afghanistan and stuff, they did have some in a can that they kept refrigerated. And I might have drank one or two of those just in a pinch, you know, needing to pick me up, and I was extremely thirsty at the time. You know, I might have done that. $20 in super chat. Look, see, that's what I like about Skipper. He's trying to help me pay for this cruise. He's out there pushing these people, get them off their wallet. I like that. So Georgia, I'm not knocking the iced coffee because as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I don't know that I've ever even tried one. Maybe I need to go to one of those coffee houses and tell them, give me an iced coffee. So how about that's my New Year's resolution? I'm going to try an iced coffee.
I'm not knocking an iced coffee either. It's just I know that if it tastes like coffee, I can't. It won't go down.
Somebody said they can't stand the smell of coffee.
That's true.
She drinks iced tea and cocoa. Nothing wrong with that. Hot cocoa or tea. Do you like the hot tea? I like some hot teas. I've had that here and there.
We're gonna do the tea on the ship.
Oh, look at there. Paul gets to see the ding-a-ling.
We're gonna do the
That's for the bird seed. I will absolutely use it for bird seed.
we're gonna go to the tea on the ship.
Yeah.
Because they serve the hot tea. I don't particularly care for it. I can drink hot tea.
Right. I really did like the hot tea over in the Middle East. I did like it.
The syrup.
I don't know. Skipper did.
See, it all sounds good, Georgie, but it's cold. I can't. If it was hot,
Maybe I need to try to figure out how to make that tea that they made over in the Middle
chai
East.
tea.
No, it wasn't chai tea. It was what they actually drank over there, not from a coffee shop. I'm gonna get it going again, Miss PJ. I'll get the birds going again. I gotta do a little work though. There again, I've changed computers, and the program I had on the other computer that I was using to do the birds with, I'm gonna have to re-download, and it just take me a little work, but I'll get it going. I do like chai tea. If I go to a coffee shop to get something, that's usually what I will get is chai tea. That's about the only thing I like out of the coffee shop. But I like the locals hot tea that they had over in Kuwait and Afghanistan.
I might could drink it. It's hot.
Okay. Yep. That might be good. But I'm going to try an iced tea.
Coffee.
I mean iced coffee, yeah. Because I really don't think I've ever had one. Oh, look there, Miss PJ. Give me a super chat. This little bell came from Kuwait. I think it says Kuwait on there. Yeah. There we go. Thank you, Miss PJ. That will go to birdseed also. I do think I drank the cold coffee in the can though once or twice.
Doesn't even sound good in a can.
Well,
Tea in a can, no.
that's one of those things that it was so hot over there, and I was probably really thirsty, and it was there, and I just grabbed one. But I do like chai tea. I'll take a chai tea anytime. So I put up another antenna today for my ham radio. I put up a long antenna. I don't even remember how long it is. It goes all the way across our place. I had to string it through a couple of trees, but with that one antenna, I can pretty well hit all the bands. There's Mama Coop.
I think we need to cut those trees out there.
Got the pink hand waving. Thank you for coming in here, Mama Coop. I saw your stuff earlier, your little elephants and things you made. You got some cool looking stuff there. So I don't know if y'all haven't watched Mama Coop. She's making these different things. She made some crosses one time that were real pretty. Frogs. And now she's doing elephants. It's pretty cool. Coasters. She did seasonal coasters like Christmas and stuff. Pretty sharp. Yep, pretty nice. We did a short when we went over the last time we went over to the villages, and I know y'all have heard us talk about the villages. Skipper, there's a couple of things that I see what you just put. You want to talk ham radio? Yeah, I want you to give me a call. want to talk ham radio with you, and I got some VA stuff I want to talk to you about. But anyway, so back to where I was going. We went to the villages. We've been over there twice, and we had a blast each time. And I know all the stories out there and everything, but we didn't see any of that. But we had a real good time, and we're still considering purchasing a second home over there. But we're not in a big hurry to do that. Mainly, I'm kind of watching the market and how things are going over there and all that. But we did a quick short on the house they had us in. The name of it was Wits End. So we just did a quick short laughing about, if you're looking for us, we're over here at the villages at our Wits End, because that was the name. Every house has a name. They name every house when they build it.
That they rent.
You think the names come off of them after somebody buys it? Well, I didn't know that. I thought it just stayed with it.
Mm-mm.
Huh. Well, so anyhow, it was just a little 10-second video making fun of the name of the house being Wits End. And man, that thing has it's at like 90,000 views. It's going to be hitting 100,000 views here pretty soon. And we've picked up about 40 subscribers off of that video, 40 or 50, a reasonable amount. So I feel like now we've got enough of a following of people that are either in the villages or interested in the villages that we probably should mention something about the villages every time we go live. I've got my thoughts on the market over there and kind of what's going on with the housing and everything, and it's got me rethinking about buying or at least about buying right now. But anyhow, I'll leave that alone. But the story that come out of the villages fairly recently, did you see where the lady got arrested over there? So there was a lady in the villages that I want to say she was walking a dog, and it was her and one of her friends. They were outside, and the police pulled up, and they get out, and they're talking to this lady. Well, her friend, is trying to make a joke out of it. She says, "Oh, they're coming to get you," and kind of laughing and come walking back up, and the the policeman stopped her and said, "Ma'am, this is serious. We need you to step back." That's when she just shut up then and decided to stay out of it. But anyhow, what happened was the lady had been basically a fugitive for over 30 years. She had her and her husband was going through a divorce, and she took their 3-year-old daughter or something and disappeared. And that was 30 years ago. So now the daughter's like 33 years old. And all this came about, and the daughter found out she's not really who she thought she was, because the lady had changed her name and all that stuff, and then kind of disappeared. But somehow or another, somebody saw her and knew who she was or something, and tipped them off. And after all that time, it caught up with her. So they arrested her, and we'll see what happens. So there's stuff that goes on in the villages too. Looking to buy foreclosure. Hey, that's not necessarily a bad way to go there, Skipper. I bought one. Well, I bought one time to keep it from going into foreclosure. We walked into a condo place, and I wanted to buy a condo, and the lady said, "How quick can you buy?" I said, "Today." And she said, "Well, we got one that's going into foreclosure in the next 3 days or something. We can get this done, and we can stop it, keep it from going into foreclosure." So we bought it. It was a rental. We had quite a few rentals over the years, but we're pretty much out of the rental business now. We still have one rental house. We've got a tenant in there that's been there for a long time. She takes very good care of the place. Calls me anytime there's an issue. So Long as she's with us, we'll keep it. But if she ever moves out, that one's going on the market and we'll be completely out of the rental business. But yep, foreclosures, you can get a good deal. What kind of work are you doing there, Georgie? Listening while you work. Have any of you visited the villages or thought about the villages? Do you know about the villages? I don't know how I ran across them, but I ran across the villages years ago, and I told her about it. I said, one of these days we need to just go down there and visit. And I guess 2 years ago we went and made our first visit, and then this past year we went and did another visit. And we're still leaning towards having a second home down there. If you're on up in age, 55 or more, and close to retirement, or maybe you are retired, you know, that's a fun place to go to. Those people are really enjoying life during the golden years. The villages in Sun City in Palm Springs. I saw Mama Coop made a lot of deliveries to the villages. All right, I'm trying to think. Y'all are over there in Florida somewhere, right?
We're in Tampa, I think.
Tampa?
That side. I think.
Well, we went over there, and look, there's something going on every day, and they got every kind of activity you can think of, every kind of club you can think of. You know, it's just people that are in their retirement years. They got a little money to spend, and they're over there trying to have a good time and live life in their golden years. We don't want to move over there. We've talked about it. We've decided we don't want to move over there. But we might purchase something so we can go anytime we want to. Stay for as long as we want to.
Might not move to the villages, but I'd move to Florida over there.
Would you? Where do you want to move to? I don't know that I could give up my country living. So, Mama Coop, you made deliveries there. What did you think about it? You got to admit it's pretty. You know, it's manicured, and you know, it's.
TJ Maxx and Marshalls.
Was you a truck driver, Mama Coop? Is that why y'all do the truck driving? Because you have an advantage. You used to drive a truck. So on the truck driving, if they get rid of all of the people that can't read and write and illegal and shouldn't have license and everything, will that give us a shortage of truck drivers?
Well, I mean, that's big old vehicles that they're driving.
I know. Oh, I agree they need to be taken off the road. But my question is, if you did that on a large scale pretty quickly, wouldn't that cause a shortage of truck drivers? And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If there's a shortage of truck drivers, then the truck drivers could use that to their advantage to try to get their pay increased. Paul says it probably would create a shortage. I don't know how many of them. Has anybody heard of the number of how many of those type drivers are out there?
She said she is a truck driver.
I see. But you don't drive a truck now, though, do you, Mama Coop? But all right, Mama Coop, you used to have the camera at your work. it still had something to do with truck driving, though, right? You line up loads or something like that. Well,
What is this right here?
let's see.
Missed that.
Yeah. Okay. I just went back and saw Skipper. You said trying to talk the family into buying near the beach in our area. Yeah, come on. No, I'm Coop said no. 62,000 from California. That's a lot of truck drivers. Yeah, a lot of truck drivers. And Skipper, there's real estate here is compared to the national, it's kind of cheap. Yep. So, Mama Coop, that's why you like the driving the truck game so well, since you're a truck driver.
That's why she wasn't running off the road so much.
Now, the Georgie did.
Yeah, Georgie's not a truck driver.
So, do you ever walk around singing eastbound and down, loaded up in trucking? We gonna do what they say can't be done. Uh-huh. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Look out, son. Watch your bandit run. I like that song. I like that movie. That was a good movie. 62,000 from California. So if you immediately took those off the road, boom, just gone. Just that one state alone and those that many, that would have to create a shortage in truck drivers, and then that would cause a ripple effect. You would have to make that up pretty quick. But if you had a shortage, supply and demand, and
Favorite song.
your wages and stuff went up for truck drivers because of the shortage, then these legitimate schools would start popping them out.
Oh.
Well, for the gang. My Xbox. Okay, so Georgie, you got you a steering wheel. Is that what you're saying? You got you a steering wheel to use? Hey, it looks like fun. Maybe one of these days I'm gonna get with y'all and y'all show me. Y'all do that on?
We got a steering wheel, don't we?
No, I've got an airplane yoke.
Oh. Thought we had a steering wheel.
Did the boys have one at one time?
I don't know.
I don't know. We might have a steering wheel. They go to a site and do it. It's not a downloaded game, I don't think. Yeah. Maybe one day y'all teach me. Oh, they done got Jim in there, Jim Baroque in there driving those trucks. Hey, I've seen some YouTube channels of female truck drivers. They get a lot of followers pretty quick. They probably make more money on the YouTube channels than they do driving the truck. 62,000 of those illegal that received a CDL. Steam, that's right. I couldn't think of it, Mama Coop. That's right. Do it on Steam. Maybe I'll watch some YouTube videos tomorrow about Steam and try to figure out how that works. I might come drive a truck with y'all. So if you say there's 62,000 illegals that have CDLs, if you take them out of the picture just because they're illegal, but then you probably got a large number that are here legally. There's a lot of them that are here legally that never learned the language, never learned how to read to read. They shouldn't have been allowed to pass the course, not being able to read the signs and all. But it's a bunch of them out there like that are probably here legally.
Maybe they can read that little bit. They know what it is.
Maybe so. Mama Coop said, come on. All right, I got to have one of them. What kind of truck would I like to drive? I had to have a Mack truck. Is that the one that had the dog on the front?
Yes.
The bulldog on the front? That's what I need. Don't give me no Peterbilt. I want a Mack. 62,000 just in California. And I'll bet you there's some other states that was doing kind of the same thing. All right, Georgie says she's down for me coming to drive a truck. I'm gonna do it. See, y'all don't believe me when I tell you so. I'm gonna do it. Jim Baroque said yes. Mack truck's what I need. Got that dog on the hood. I want a dog. Yeah, so yeah, California let them pass with help so they could pass the test. Now, that's a big, heavy piece of equipment that you just turn somebody loose driving that's not qualified to drive. They can't even read the signs to know what they're doing. That's just so dangerous. Not to mention the impact it has on our American truck drivers and how it helped keep the wages down on them. That's an injustice in itself. Well, I was sitting here thinking to myself, there's no reason why in America, if someone works a full-time job, that they shouldn't be able to afford a home and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of jobs out there that just don't pay enough to buy a home. Real estate prices are out the roof. What do y'all think about this 50-year mortgage that Trump is talking about? He's trying to get, have you heard that? Okay, Trump's come up with this idea of having a 50-year mortgage. And what that would do is those that are starting out that don't have a lot of money, they can still be able to buy a house. And the intent is go ahead and get you in the house, you start paying on the house, and then as you increase in your salaries and this, and things get better for you, you can refinance for a shorter term later. I understand where he's going there, but right now, some people don't make enough money to afford a house with a 25 or 30-year mortgage. The note's just too high. But if you make it a 50-year mortgage, they could go ahead and get in. And the intent is a few years later, refinance for a shorter term when your situation gets a little better. I know, Georgie, I agree.
Refinancing, time you get ready to refinance, you start paying all that interest again.
See, there's something that you bring that up. That's right. The banks, they've been allowed to do this. They front load the interest. You pay interest first.
Heavy interest first.
When you first
time you get to the point where because we did it once on a rental refinance.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did it, then
the interest started again.
Yeah.
That should be illegal. The bank should not be able to do that. That's something they could do. They could stop that.
I learned not to
your
do that.
interest is spread evenly throughout the loan, not front loaded. To me, that's just crooked. There's a lot of things that can be done to change things. I
That's
think
not just on a house though. That's on anything you borrow.
I think insurance companies should be forced to be nonprofit. That could get some insurance rates down. I just don't think you should make profit off of other people's misfortune. I just think our law, our politicians could pass a law that banks could not front load interest. They could pass a law that insurance companies have to be nonprofit. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of things that could be done that could help working folks. And I believe
But I
now,
wouldn't call it misfortune, because just because you don't have, you're 21 and wanting to buy a house, you don't have $300,000
Well, I
sitting
know.
around. That's not misfortune.
I know, but some people start out working minimum wage jobs, and even after school, and they're adults, young adults.
Well, you use yourself as an
I
example.
know I did it. I did it, but
We did.
it takes much more to get into a house with a 30-year mortgage than it would to get into a house with a 50-year mortgage. 50-year mortgage would cut that note so far down that most people would be able to afford that. Now, I wouldn't stick with that. I wouldn't stay with that 50-year mortgage. Maybe 10, 15 years down the road, your financial situation changes. You can refinance for a shorter term. But anyway, I just believe that there's a lot of things that could be done, but it's complicated because you got these big insurance companies. They have people up there that's giving money to these politicians and basically buying them so they won't
Well,
do
not
stuff
just-
like that.
Not just the insurance, the taxes.
Taxes are crazy. Yeah, taxes are crazy.
But I think if I had a 50-year mortgage where starting out, I could afford the note, and in 10 or 15 years, instead of refinancing, I would be doubling up on the note
You can
and
do
getting it
that.
paid for a
You
whole
can do
lot
that.
quicker,
Yeah.
and then the interest wouldn't be.
I'll tell you
starting
something
over.
else makes me mad, and I think in a country as wealthy as we are, there's no reason for it. And I know, Democrats want free health care. Republicans are against that. I'm right leaning. I'm Republican. I got it. But here's what I look at. There's no reason for anybody in this country to lose everything they've got over a medical issue, and it happens every day. People our age and getting on up in age, and you find out you got this, you got that, and
And your insurance.
the insurance doesn't cover
covering
this and
something.
doesn't cover that. Next thing you know, they're losing their home. They've blown through their life savings, their whole life gone because of a medical problem. And we could do better than that. We could do better. So it's bound to be an answer to that to keep people from losing everything they got over medical.
Well, I just have to say, the money that they have found just in one state, and not probably the whole state, as fraud that has gone, I don't know what to do with it.
I'm sure it's
Anyway, it's gone, whatever's done with it, however it was done, stolen. I'm going to say stolen. That's a lot of money. That could have helped a lot of Americans
gone. Oh yeah,
do
could have kept a lot of people from losing their home and life savings
right.
over medical issues.
Or just,
Well, that's what's frustrating. I know it's
they could
frustrating
have
to
gone
everybody.
and given everybody,
Oh yeah.
homeowners,
You want to be a good
chunk.
citizen, and you want to be a good, productive person in this country. And part of that is paying your taxes. But the purpose of taxes is to do things that's for the good of the whole. And then when we see where our money's going
I don't want to pay taxes
and
anymore.
the thievery that's going on, it's like, man, I don't mind paying taxes, but I want the government to be a good steward with my money.
And I'm
they're-
all for helping somebody.
They're stealing billions of dollars, and we're dodging potholes because our roads aren't fixed. I tell you what we're gonna elect Skipper president. He's gonna fix all this.
You get into the government, and then you become a millionaire
Isn't that something? Somebody go up there.
because they
And
supposedly wrote a book.
They don't have
Or go
anything. They go
do
up
a
there to
speech.
Washington, and within 3 years, they're multi-millionaire.
In 1 year, what was it? Somebody went from 49,000 to 30 billion,
Hmm.
or not 30 billion, 30 million.
It is theft. It is theft, Georgie.
The taxes we have to pay on this house is
Mhm.
crazy.
There was one year, and I don't mind saying it, there was one year we paid $30,000 in taxes.
Mhm.
30,000. One check.
That made me sick. Just because I know what they're doing with it. I didn't want to pay it.
Yeah. Yeah. And by George, they took that money
And if
give
I
it.
hadn't have paid it, what was going to
Oh
happen?
yeah, yeah. Don't pay
And
the
I don't look
taxes.
good in orange.
See how fast they come after you. They'll come after you. You'll get in more trouble for not paying your taxes than you would killing somebody.
You'll get in more trouble. It depends on who you are. Who is that hunter didn't pay his
Well, that's what they say.
millions?
I don't know. I don't know.
I should have not paid my 30,000 and said, "Well, you get it from him first."
They'd come after us so quick.
Yeah, and I don't look good in orange. I don't want to wear orange.
Well, this turned into a gripe session. Boy, I don't like griping too much. But look, it's disheartening though to see them doing what they're doing with our money.
Yeah.
When paying taxes, paying taxes puts some people in a bind.
If I didn't have to pay the taxes and the insurance on everything that we have, I'd be doing great. Great.
Property taxes is a thing that came from England. When the settlers came over here from England, that's what they did over in England. People had to pay taxes on their property. Homeowners had to pay taxes on property. So that's the way they did it over there. So when they come over here, they say, well, that's the way we're going to do it over here too. Trump wants to do away with income tax altogether. He thinks he can do enough. The country can make enough money through tariffs and all that stuff that people would not have to pay income tax. And I'm all for that.
Well, I mean, you just look at the money that we're sending to other countries for whatever, we don't even know. Look at the money that they're paying. They would have been better off just giving, instead of doing the daycares, they could have just given the families.
Well, that's pretty much what they were doing.
Well, but they didn't, yeah.
I don't know. Crazy. Crazy. All right.
I'm done.
You done? We're through griping now.
Mm.
All right. Well, we've been on a little more than an hour. We're glad all of you came in tonight. It was fun talking about all the different topics. Maybe next time I'll have something more upbeat. I'm going to watch some. So what I get at, I got to watch Stream, figure out how to do the truck driving. Steam. I got to watch Steam, figure out how to do the truck driving. I'm going to drink an iced coffee. And Skipper's going to call me and we're going to talk about a couple of things.
Skipper calling you tonight?
I don't know. He'll call me whenever. But anyway, thank y'all for coming in. Coffee with the Huffs. Hey, we like doing it. And we like talking to y'all and talking about the issues of the day. But we're going to call it good. We'll shut this one down and we'll do it again maybe next Tuesday. I think we'll be around. If we're around next Tuesday, we'll do it again. Thank y'all for coming and we'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for all the super